All right, I think I'm coming to you live. We're coming to you live with another episode of Beat Therapy. And today's topic on today's Beat Therapy video is perseverance. Perfect Pitch, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Sajad S, welcome to the show. Today I'm probably going to make a beat and talk about perseverance. And my question to you is, and this could be a word for me too as well. My question to you, what's up, Show Shiloh? My question to you is, do you have perseverance? Do you know what perseverance means? We're going to look up perseverance real quick. Just any online dictionary will do. And use legit in the middle, make some travel. Don't let me hold you up, man. Continue. The meaning of perseverance. People in the chat room, tell me what you believe perseverance means. According to dictionary.com, perseverance means a steady persistence in a course of action, a purpose, a state, etc., especially in spite of difficulties, obstacles, and discouragement. And another second one thing is theology, continuance in a state of grace to the end, leading to external salvation. So today's topic is about perseverance, because I think for a long time, if you're anything like me, you just kind of know not to give up. But sometimes with the actions that you're trying to do, well, good, so I'm glad that helps. Sometimes when you're trying to do an action and you don't know what to do, you're kind of lost, and sometimes you may not remember, or at least I know I may have not remembered what it means to just not quit and not give up. Well, there's a word for that, and the word for that is perseverance. I advise anybody who has some Post-its or something nearby, or maybe a piece of paper, to just write that word down and set it somewhere, because I think if it's going to help you like it helped me, if you remember that word perseverance. What's up, Dynamic? If you remember the word perseverance, it can kind of help you remember what you're doing. What the heck are you, what all this madness is coming in your life as you pursuing your dreams and goals, and all these people who are not encountering or communicating or engaging in the content that you produce. These are all things dealing with perseverance and the kind of the things that we got. What's up, Eric? Shout out, man. So the different kind, and I'm going to give you some sub content underneath the bridge of perseverance. So when you have perseverance, you got to start with patience, rejection, unexpected events, beat block, haters, self-doubt, self-faith, self-worth, face, stubbornness, adaptation, and relationships. And when I'm talking about relationships in this context, I am talking about women. So, you know, it's okay to work at perseverance, but like I said, write that word down. I mean, I've wrote it down on my desk in the living room. I've wrote it down on my desk at the job. Perseverance. The first thing with perseverance that I learned is that it's going to take some patience. Patience is probably, to me, one of the first things that you got to have. Is one of the first ingredients of perseverance, because you have to be patient with some things and stuff like that, because you're either going to be patient or you're going to be anxious. I don't know how many times I might have psyched myself out of trying to pursue my goals and stuff like that, because I got impatient with the results. I can't imagine the women I don't talk to anymore because they became impatient because I didn't respond to their texts or phone calls at the time frame they wanted me to do. And they did not know what was going on my side of time. And sometimes you have to stop and think about what you're going to say to an individual. So you have to be patient and not just react to what people do or what people say. You actually have to take time to respond in a way that's very important. So patience is very important. I just came from a situation where I talked about trying to get a vehicle, and I came in with the mindset of being able to walk away from a bogus deal if it felt bogus. Well, guess what? That deal felt bogus, and I really wanted to go ahead and go through with it, but the deal was bogus and I wasn't feeling it. And I was okay with that, because I knew that with patience and with perseverance, I was going to proceed to the next opportunity and find a better situation that fits my needs in which I come out intact on top, and there's an equivalent exchange made. So if you want to have perseverance, you definitely have to have patience. Now, when I talk about patience, I don't mean be patient and stand still. You have to be patient and you have to act at the same time. You have to be patient, which means you're cool where you're at, and then at the same time make actions. Like for me, I don't have a lot of time to make videos right now because it takes me more time to get home than it usually does, and it takes me more time to go to work, and I can't stay up too late, so I have to deal with. I'm glad. I appreciate that, Shajab. That I have to be patient. I have to be patient. There's a process happening right now in my life right now. I'm transitioning into something else. I had to be patient with my weight loss. I had to have perseverance in my losing weight, because there's been many times where I've tried to lose weight, and because I didn't have perseverance, I was not patient in the process of losing weight. I wasn't patient in pursuing my dreams and goals. And sometimes I'll get upset because I didn't get this deal or this placement or this situation didn't fall together the way I did. And now look at other people, how they've all proceeding and going forward and everything. And they're getting their blessings and they're getting their opportunities and they're getting what's theirs. And I'm like, dang, what's going on? But if I exercise perseverance, then I can be patient and be all right in my own skin, despite what everybody else is experiencing around me. So perseverance is definitely important. Moving on to the next ingredient for perseverance, and that's being able to deal with rejection. We talked about rejection in a previous video. We talked about how rejection can hurt, but if you understand that rejection is a good thing, because one of the first reasons that I can think of when you're dealing with rejection as an ingredient to perseverance is that it leads you to the right direction. There's no clear roadmap for the things that we pursue in life. There's no, we'll get to that. There's no clear direction on the path that you need to take in life to your goals. So what you have to do is that you have to try different routes and see if the people that you're dealing with will accept you. And not everybody will accept you. Not everybody will accept the decisions I make on this YouTube channel. If I feel like making a remake or don't make it a remake, there's going to be some rejection there. And rejection is only part of the process. Rejection is an ingredient to success. I saw a quote, and I can't remember who said it, but you have to fail a lot of times till you get to that one success. You know, and sometimes without perseverance, you stop doing things because you're tired of failing and you don't have that patience to deal with it. So you're tired of dealing with that rejection, or people not accepting the music that you send out to them, or try to get placed, or you try to get into this battle, or you try to deal with all these people and these placement opportunities and stuff like that. And you're dealing with rejection. And sometimes if you don't remember to persevere, you're going to be frozen up by the rejection. If you don't remember to persevere, you're going to definitely defeat leads to victory. You're going to deal with a situation where you're not going to keep trying because you didn't have perseverance. So dealing with rejection, even trying to holler at a girl, not every girl is going to respond the way that you need them to. Not every girl is going to understand the importance of calling you back. Not every girl you're going to deal with is going to understand the importance of being patient with you or communicating with you and taking their time with you and stuff like that, because they're so wrapped up in their world and thinking everything's supposed to go the way that they go. They don't take time to have more than one conversation. Or other situations where you're just dealing with someone and they just jump to so many conclusions about you from you saying nothing at all, because that person is impatient. Sometimes there's some girls you like that you want to talk to that ain't feeling you the way that you feel them. So that's rejection. And the number one thing to deal with that is that if y'all don't, if she doesn't want to respond or doesn't even want to communicate with you, that's a form of rejection. But if you have perseverance, you know that you shouldn't even be stuck on girls that don't make it easy for you to talk to them. You know, so that's one thing like that. Also, what's up, Listen to Reason? How you doing? Thank you for hitting me up. I really appreciate y'all. Yeah. So another thing, hey, Listen to Reason, we're talking about perseverance tonight. And yeah, I've been around. Yeah, Eric, you've been around for a while, man. So another part of perseverance is that I want to talk about is unexpected events. You have to have perseverance through unexpected events. Perfect example is that my car burned down on one of the most gorgeous Sunday evenings before it got cold, and that was an unexpected event. I did not expect to have the car burn up on me, but that is something that I had to deal with. And if I have perseverance, because let's look back on a thing. What is perseverance? Steady persistence in a course of action, purpose, or state, especially in spite of difficulties, obstacles, and discouragement. I can tell you right now that my car burning down at Cookout was difficult, it was an obstacle, and it was a discouragement. As far as things going on with the car is done. I'm trying to find another one, but I'm still able to make it to work. What's up, El Gas? But my purpose is that I'm pursuing my dreams and goals. One of my purposes is to grow this channel to 100 subscribers. 100,000 subscribers. That's one of my purposes. Another one of my purposes is to get musical placements that help support and hopefully be a full-time music producer and artist. I want that opportunity. I want to have a full-time income off of Dillio2K.com with sounds and samples and tutorials for people like you and other people who want to learn from me. Those are all purposes and stuff like that. And I have to have, and those are my steady, that's my steady course of action, purpose, and state. And right now, I'm dealing with difficulties with that. I'm dealing with some obstacles. I'm dealing with a little bit of discouragement, but I'm addressing the discouragement. But it takes more perseverance. This is the reason it takes more. So having perseverance in unexpected events. Maybe somebody's calling you while you're trying to work on some music, and maybe a gig comes, or maybe somebody cancels. These are all unexpected events, which is an obstacle, which is a discouraging thing, or can be something that gets in the way of your purpose. So what you have to have is perseverance to keep your purpose and to keep what you're trying to achieve despite those circumstances and stuff like that. When I talk about beat block is another thing that takes perseverance to overcome. It may not be just your time to make that track and make that fire and write that song right now. However, my personal opinion is that when you have beat block, there's another area in your life you need to address. That's what I personally think. If you have beat block, maybe there's a room that's not cleaned up, or maybe there's a phone call you need to make. Maybe there's an unpaid bill. Maybe there's something that's not clean. But there, to me, it's a sign that there's something else that needs to be taken care of in your life instead of making beats. Or it may be just you that you need to take care of if you're having beat block. Sometimes you have to take care of yourself when you're having beat block. And I think that is a tool that facilitates perseverance in your opportunities and what you're going for. So always remember that, you know, and beat block can be unexpected. You could be making 5 bangers and then next thing you know, you're like, dang, man, I don't even know what else to make. Well, that's an unexpected event. That can be discouraging, but if you stick to your purpose, if you still believe in yourself to being the producer that you are, if you still believe that you have value, then you have perseverance, and perseverance to me is what it takes to make it. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that I forgot to have perseverance sometimes. And a lot of times I will endure with no word for what I'm doing. Like, you could just be going through something, but until you can put a description on it, it's hard to, right, show? It's hard to kind of know what the heck you're doing. Like, what am I doing right now? I'm lost. Like, what am I doing? I'm trying to make these videos. What am I doing right now? And now I have a word for what the hell I'm doing right now. I'm persevering right now. Me continuing to at least do these live blogs with some content that actually helps you and myself out in between while I'm trying to produce full-fledged YouTube videos is a form of me persevering. You understand what I'm saying? Despite the discouraging circumstances, despite the lack of time, despite the lack of sleep and energy, this is one of the ways I'm persevering by at least continuing to engage my YouTube viewers and to be a part of this channel because, again, I want this channel to grow. This is one of the easiest ways for me to get content on it, so therefore I'm doing that. You know, this is me persevering. So we talked about B block. And another thing is haters. We all have haters, and we know that definitely haters is a sign, right? So Silo, we know that definitely haters is a sign of you making a mark on other people and stuff like that. And then you might have some silent haters who just don't like you and don't even respond to anything you put out and don't say anything to you about your thing, stuff like that, you know? And haters is just another thing that you have to have perseverance for, because haters can try to be an obstacle. Oh yeah, you zapped out about haters yesterday. There you go. You know, haters are another thing that you have to have perseverance for, because not everybody's going to like you. And that's the real world situation. And sometimes, if you're like me, sometimes you want everybody to love what you do and want to be part of it. Not everybody's going to like it. Not everybody's going to engage in it. Not everybody's going to participate in it. So definitely having perseverance enables you to push through that obstacle, to push through that difficulty, to push through that state of discouragement. You know, yeah, I've heard about success breeding jealousy and stuff like that. That's why you have to have perseverance. Everything's falling back onto perseverance today, because that's definitely something I need to keep in my life, and I'm trying to apply that word to what I'm doing, because before I was just kind of going through the motions and I was just kind of enduring, but enduring wasn't really quite the word I needed. I needed another word to describe, to provide language to my mindset, to what I'm dealing with right now. That's why the word perseverance is so important to me. If I'm waiting in line for my food, I am persevering for my food. If I'm waiting in line at a placement or music rally, I am persevering to get to that point. If I have to save up money to fly out to LA again, I am persevering by not spending money on other erroneous things, but saving my money so that I can travel, so that I continue to network and pursue this dream and purpose and stuff like that. Absolutely listen to reason, you know, and definitely that's another thing. The closer you get, the more obstacles, aka money, insert other words, the more problems. I understand that, you know, but I definitely know a lot of people solve a lot of money or problems. Me personally, and I'll go ahead and get a little tangent there. Me personally, I don't think I want to speak out that money equals problems. I think that, and this is theoretically, but I think that if you think more money is more problems, no one wants problems. So subconsciously, you might be putting out the wrong energy to push money away, because what person would want money if it means more problems? So to me, if I were to reword that for 2018 and 2019, I wouldn't say more money, more problems. I would say more money, more solutions. I think that's better language to have for yourself, and I think that's a better energy to attract to yourself, saying that out loud versus saying more money and more problems. Yes, I understand what the metaphor comes from, and that definitely know there's some truth to that, but I think that I would like to remix that language and say that more money, more solutions, so that I have a more positive context on the acquisition of money and funds and stuff like that. So thank you for the talk today. Talk to us, give us some of the inspirational words, give a lot. That's no problem, Dynamic. That's what it's all about, you know. So, you know, we definitely want to have a good attitude about money and not be ashamed of acquiring it and not being ashamed of having it. I think a lot of us, or if you're like me, we come from a culture where we say, well, money, you know, where we're kind of like, we know we need money, but we're not like we kind of still have some shame about the acquisition of it, or shame of having too much. And I believe that shame can manifest a reality or energy that keeps you behind the gun when it comes to stuff like that, you know. Yeah, so definitely I would like to remix that language. So, you know, one of the things that you have to have perseverance, and another thing, and I'm coming back to the perseverance, is that self-doubt, right? You have to even persevere self-doubt and find ways to turn self-doubt into self-faith. You know, you short-circuit yourself when you self-doubt yourself. But for me, it's easy to self-doubt yourself until you make the choice to persevere. When you're making a choice to persevere, you're making a choice to be steady. You're making a choice to stay on course of action. You're making a choice to stay on the purpose, you know. So definitely squashing self-doubt. To me, I think the best way to squash self-doubt is to gain a language. You have to put it in language, the squashing of the self-doubt, right? So again, like for me, I've been kind of at this for a while, but it was only till maybe a couple weeks ago I said to myself, I am persevering, right? It's one thing to just go through with it and not have language in your mind how to process a situation versus going through another situation and knowing what you're doing. When you know what you're doing, then you know what choices you need to make to facilitate what you're trying to get to. So that can be one way of squashing self-doubt. What the heck are you doing? I am working on this. I am persevering. I am good at this. Self-doubt gets squashed by what you say in your head, the language in your head, you know. And I know a lot of times we can base self-doubt on past situations, past relationships, past experiences. And albeit it is good to learn from some of them. It is good to learn from some of them. But self-doubt ultimately to me is starts in the mind. Doubt is a thought, right? Doubt is a thought process. So now what you got to do is you got to rewrite what language is going on in your head. I no longer self-doubt anymore. I used to self-doubt myself. I choose not to self-doubt anymore. I choose to have perseverance. I am persevering right now. Notice how the language changes from self-doubt to being more focused on your goals. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of things that comes in self-doubt. You know, for me, rejection was a form of self-doubt because I didn't understand how rejection worked. I didn't understand that just because someone rejects me, that doesn't mean that I'm bad. Maybe it's the game that they're rejecting. It doesn't mean that I suck or I'm not good at what I'm doing. There's so many variables dealing with people and just individuals and all this stuff externally at yourself that you can't keep track of everything that lines up to facilitate that rejection. So if I look at it that way, instead of thinking, oh, well, I just suck or I'm not. If I stop thinking I'm not good enough, notice how, like I said, if I think I'm not good enough, that's self-doubt. That's all in the head. You understand what I'm saying? So you really got to remix the language that you apply to yourself in your mind to move forward, you know? So, and when you think, and I think that's important. I think it takes rejection. I think, and I'll be the first to admit, I'll say it right here, right now, that I think, and I just didn't have the language to put this together. But now, what's up, Eric? I didn't have the language to put this together till now. And that is that I've dealt with rejection, but I didn't know how to process rejection. I didn't know how to persevere through rejection. I just experienced rejection with no real clarity on how to handle it and process it. It's one thing to shrug it off, but it's another thing to understand it. It's another thing to understand that rejection is the pathway to the right situation, to acceptance, right? And so if you don't have the right mindset and the language in your head, you're going to internalize rejection. And when you internalize the rejection, you fall back into self-doubt. You fall back into lack of action. You fall back into not being sure of yourself until you study and you learn the language of what do I need to be thinking here when this person doesn't call me anymore? What am I thinking here if this person takes my silence in a whole nother direction without me saying anything? You know, so you have to understand that rejection is good. If you start accepting that rejection is good and that it's only one step closer, of course, it's a vicious cycle. But once you understand that rejection is nothing more than a tool, when you make rejection a tool, then now it's like, okay, shoot, well, I need to get rejected 1,000 times because I know at least one of those times I'm going to get a shot. But if I'm so hurt from rejection and paralyzed from how I feel from rejection, because rejection can feel like a punch in your chest. So, but if I understand that rejection is now a tool, you understand what I'm saying? Now you're not so fearful of having rejection because you know that every rejection you deal with is going to get you closer, you know? So when you're dealing with rejection, you understand that rejection is a tool. Now you have self-worth, right? Now you have faith in yourself. Now you have faith in God. If you don't believe in God, you have more. You're able to accept more love and more faith in things because you have more love and faith in yourself. It's hard to have faith in other things and other people than yourself because, if you don't know what the process and the mindset is, you just don't know, So it's very important to have that language together in your head. Another aspect of perseverance is stubbornness, meaning that sometimes you just don't know what's going on, but you're not quitting, that you're persevering, and from the outside, people are stubborn, right? So stubbornness is another part of perseverance. You have to be stubborn. Sometimes you have to do things anyway. Sometimes you have to make a beat anyway. Sometimes, even though don't have as much time to broadcast like how I used to, I have to be stubborn and broadcast anyway. Well, not that I have to, but actually I get to and I want to, because I like talking and broadcasting sometimes, and talking to you guys on here and making content that can help producers and anybody else who watches my channel, because it's going to help me. Maybe I want to listen to this at a later time to remind myself. But stubbornness falls back into adaptation. How are we adapting right now? I know that I like to make all kinds of YouTube videos. I've done remakes. Maybe I don't like doing remakes, but I may start doing them again because I believe they help gain traction on the channel and help diversify the viewership, even though YouTube has their issues about us remaking stuff. But maybe I should adapt and get back into it, but find a better way that makes it fit. You know, taking the bus to work, that's an adaptation. When you go from driving your car to work to having to take the bus and train to work, and you know it takes way longer to do that than just to simply have a car, that's adaptation. When you understand how rejection works and you turn rejection into a tool, that's adaptation. When you understand how beat block works and you start taking care of other things that you need to take care of, that's adaptation. When you understand how haters work, that's adaptation. So constantly be in a state of adaptation, because adaptation is just another ingredient for perseverance, right? So persevering and stuff like that. Dealing with beat block, not knowing what the sounds are, getting more samples, using old samples. These all, or changing your mindset on how you make music. Maybe you want to make music off the grid. Maybe you want to make music on Maschine or Ableton or MPC. You want to do it on all these other platforms and try it and stuff like that somewhere else. So adaptation is key, you know? Same thing with relationships. Relationships take perseverance, you know? But it also takes knowledge, because if you're, sometimes you can be like me or be someone else and not know what's going on in a relationship or a friendship. And sometimes, and I'll be the first to say that I will be the only one calling. I'll be the only one reaching out. Okay? Until I understood what was going on. Like, no, these people are just flat out uninterested. They're rejecting me. Oh, that's what that means? Okay. You know, perseverance is not staying stuck on those people who don't appreciate you. Perseverance is letting those people go, chalking it up to the game, and moving on to the new people and meeting more new people. Because I think if you keep meeting new people over and over again, you're going to meet the right ones that fit who you are. But you have to persevere through the individuals who don't link up and connect with you like you want or should. You know? So those are some key things about perseverance that I think is very important. Like I said, I had a sticky post-it note and I wrote it down in writing. Perseverance. Perseverance. We got to have perseverance. I know I have to have perseverance for what I'm dealing with right now. You know? And when you apply language to your actions, and you got it written down, there's something powerful about having language applied to your actions versus just being in a situation with no thought, with no understanding of the situation. If you're in a situation with no thought or no language, you're just lost. So, patience, rejection, unexpected events, beat block, haters, self-doubt, self-worth, faith, stubbornness, adaptation, relationships. Like I said, put language to your actions. You know, say you're cooking, making beats, you know. So, yeah. It's very important. Yeah, so. Yeah. So I'm going to jam a little bit and then I'm going to get off of here. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Beat therapy. How to have perseverance. I need to see if I still remember how to make beats. Y'all doing good? For the soul. Perfect pitch. What is going on, man? Hey, thank you, Manny Productions. Shout out. Working, okay. Did you get that rolling AX yet? Okay, computer, don't die on me now. You broke? I feel you, man. You're not broke, man. Don't say that. Doggone it, come on now. Load up that plug-in. We ain't gonna be long. I'm gonna get off of here at about 45-minute broadcast and I'm done. Hey. Oh, my car, sorry. I know that wasn't pretty to look at. Oh yeah? What kind of back you got? song, man? Come on. Gotta stop and save before it crashes out. Yeah. Sometimes it'll crash, you know. So you just gotta be patient. Perseverance! Be patient. You have to persevere sometimes, right? How many people got that FL Studio Fire? What I don't understand is why this thing won't load my sounds the way I need it to. I don't understand. Because it'll load it for other stuff, but it won't load it for this, which sucks. So FL Studio crashed, but I did save the beat before I moved forward, so. GarageBand, huh? That's your thing? That's cool. Okay, I want you on this other window. So we're just here for not that much longer. Just going to groove on this for our next 4 minutes, and then we're going to get out because this is the work night, and I got work to do. So, you know what that means. I just got to load all the plugins. No, I don't play guitar. halftime. Everything's done at halftime now, right? Tried that. Hey, hit it. Come on, master. I still remember how to make beats. That's mean. Tank will kill it, huh? He is the general for a reason, right? Vibing, man. Another one. See, I've been out on the streets, right? I've been out on the streets, so some of that pain gets put into the track and make it sound better. When you're going through it, you know, you feel that pain. What's going on? Always put my little thing in there. Always put my little. So this is the part where I want to add a little atmosphere into it. So I got to figure out how I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna do some stupid stuff, but it's saved. It's saved because this might crash it. This may crash it. But I love this sound because it just sounds so. It just sounds really good. I'm just gonna just do it. I need a, and then I'm done. I need a. Try to squeeze one more thing out of this library. I don't know if it's gonna work. I just want somebody singing in the. It's not so easy because it doesn't work. You don't want to keep using the same sounds, so it's like, all right, what do I do? You just want this atmosphere to be created. But you don't want to predict it. You kind of just want it to happen, you know. So it's kind of like, all right, what do I? So like that's a vocal, but you just kind of gotta just screw around with it and just see what happens. It sounds wild. Problems. This stupid shit. Longer than this. I need to go to bed right now, but I'm staying up too late. it off the monitors. Is this what it is? Okay, I'm past my time. I gotta go, y'all. I want to thank everybody for coming out and hanging out. I gotta go. I gotta be on point. I gotta be on point. Thank y'all so much. Please, thank you. Play it back. I'm going to leave it up overnight so I can check it out. I got to go for real. Thank you guys so much for watching. Beat Therapy, How to Have Perseverance. Till next time, y'all. Peace out.